Here's a few movies to check out this week, currently on Netflix Instant. Horror comedy, Ravenous. Ravenous isn't a horror comedy like Shaun of the Dead. Ravenous is more of a horror black comedy. It's about a captain in the Mexican-American War, and he finds out about something called the Wendigo. Whenever someone resorts to cannibalism, they absorb the spirit of the other person, and it makes them stronger. The movie introduces all sorts of unusual characters, a lot of really weird stuff happens, and they're trying to find out if one of the other characters is a cannibal. Beautifully shot. It's a really good-looking movie, and if you're looking for a dark comedy, it doesn't really get much darker than this. I don't want to ruin it, but I can't not say that in the end, there's a huge battle of the super cannibals. It's not to be missed. Horror thriller, Berberian Sound Studio. I'm going to put a big asterisk on this movie because it's definitely not for most people. If you're a fan of giallo films, then you'll probably dig this. Also, as the title of the movie might imply, the better your sound setup for the movie, the better you're going to enjoy this. Because the way that they messed with the audio, there's lots of screams, there's lots of scratching, little weird noises. It all enhances the viewing and makes it that much more enjoyable. This isn't something that you would really like too much watching it on your laptop with like the laptop audio, unless maybe you were wearing headphones. It's all about this sound engineer who's working on this new horror film, and there's all sorts of weird things that are going on at the studio, so you're not really sure if this is just him going crazy or the things that are happening in the sound studio are kind of bleeding out into reality. A weird movie that there's really not a lot you can compare it to. Action. Rage. On paper, this sounds like it's nothing more than a knockoff of Taken. Nicolas Cage is an ex-criminal whose daughter gets kidnapped, and he gets back into his old ways to try to track down what happened to her. Now, that does kind of sound like Taken. It's not. Actually, a lot of the people that are screaming that this is nothing but a poor man's Taken never watched the film past the first half hour, because once things get underway, it's completely different. The action scenes are really good. Nicolas Cage is absolutely not phoning in this performance. And a lot of the things that happen were genuinely unexpected. Horror thriller, The Sacrament. Even though I'm a really big fan of Ty West, I put off watching this for a while because I discovered it was another found footage movie. And I've been increasingly tired of found footage. However, even though, yes, this is a found footage movie, it's done more documentary style, which made it a lot more bearable. There's a reporter whose sister has been taken in by this religious cult, and the cult moved out to Africa to start this compound called Eden. He gets invited by his sister to come out and see the compound, and he brings his editor and cameraman along to kind of document what's going on. The movie shares a lot of similarities with the Jim Jones Jonestown massacre, definitely inspired by it. I would say if you don't know about Jonestown, watch the movie and then read up on it so you can see just how frightening and insane this stuff was. I appreciated the fact that this was done with some skill and not really like the usual found footage film. They set up their shots, they kept things in focus. Occasionally, yes, they did run into the instances where it was just a camera running away from whatever was going on. A good majority of the film, they were using proper filming techniques, so it does come across more documentary than found footage. Didn't realize how much horror I had on the list this time. Oh well, that's all I got for this week. I'll see you next time.